for the first question, I would like to ask, what was like the first time that you heard metal music that you knew it was metal?
First time would probably be when I got Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory
Nice.
and Limp Bizkit's sorry, excuse me, Limp Bizkit's Chocolate Starfish and Hot Dog Flavored Water.
Yeah.
Those were two big albums for me, and yeah, from then on I was kind of hooked. Really, I started trying to experimenting with like heavier sounds, like Trivium Ascendancy. Then discovered Hatebreed and Terror and stuff like that. Found out about hardcore and music and stuff. So yeah, there was a whole host of like bands around that era that kind of got me into that sound.
What do you remember? What it was in like metal that brought you in? You know, what got you interested in metal?
Just the aggression, I think. The aggression, the energy, the attitude. Definitely what you want to hear when you're an angsty little teenager.
Did you start to scream with the records, you know, immediately, or how did that go?
No, not so much. Just like I'd have them on my CD player, like walking to school with headphones on. And think I was the coolest and edgiest kid there, and yeah. And then I didn't really start screaming or shouting as such until like 2008, really, where I always wanted to play guitar, but then I could never be bothered to learn. So I just kind of started screaming for a little bit, gave that a go, and joined another little local band for a bit, and then joined Malevolence in 2010. And yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah. When you mentioned that you didn't bother to practice guitar, have you practiced singing, or do you just do it the way you've always done, or?
I just always did it the way I've always done it, really, until like the last 3-4 years, I've started like trying to look after my voice a bit more, doing proper warm-ups and stuff like that. And yeah, and trying to learn correct ways to do it without trying to damage my voice and you know, like losing my voice or anything like that. So yeah, I guess it was just a lot of practice, but a lot of trial and error. I think for a long time I wasn't very good.
Did you mentioned that you didn't want any like issues with your voice, but did you have any like, did you notice that you were tiring out live, or do you had any like throat issues or something?
Yeah, I used to just lose my voice and have a sore throat and have like a headache, and I guess just trying to learn not to push from your head, and learning how to push from your chest is like a big thing that I had to learn how to do.
Yeah. So did the kind of screaming and stuff come from like the hardcore side of things, or did you think that maybe you would do more clean stuff, or was it just the power that, you know, attracted you to do screaming?
Yeah, I think for a long time I just wanted to be the loudest and most powerful, so that's what I was going for. And yeah, I think just having listened to a lot of hardcore bands, obviously you learn the difference between metal vocals and hardcore vocals, and hardcore vocals kind of a lot of the time pronounce the words a lot better and enunciate, which is kind of my style. I like to try and project the words and make them as clear as possible. So that's the style I chose. Yeah.
Did you have any like idols from metal vocalists and like hardcore vocalists, and you know, who were you looking up to when you started with bands for the first time?
Probably Jamie Jaster, he'd be a big one. Randy Blythe, Lamb of God. Scott from Tero.
Yeah.
Just anyone who had that kind of raw, pissed off energy. That's the vibe that I liked.
Yeah, those are classic choices. Do you have any like modern favorites? Do you listen to a lot of like new singers who are coming up in the scene?
Who do I like at the minute? There's the singer of Inclination. I don't know his name, but he's got an incredible voice.
Yeah.
There's some amazing deathcore singers out right now that are doing monster noises that sound insane. You know, it's not particularly like my style of vocals, but I can definitely appreciate what they do. Who else do I like? Yeah, to be honest, there's a whole bunch of I like the new Gridiron, but he's got more of like a rap flow, a bit more like Limp Bizkit kind of vibe. I just like anyone who's kind of doing something new and a bit different, and or just has that raw energy. Yeah.
Would you say that you have something new that you've been trying out with your vocals, in the last couple of years?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'd like to think so. I'd like to think that my voice is kind of unique, and if you hear me screaming, then you know it's me. But yeah, I guess just trying to project my voice as much as I can and make it clear. And I get told quite a bit that I can like pronounce and enunciate words, and people that don't like metal can understand what I'm saying, which is a good thing. So, yeah, I like being able to understand what a vocalist says. So definitely try to incorporate that into my style.
Yeah, you mentioned that, sometimes people have like hard time listening to metal because they can't hear the words or understand, what the singer is saying. What are some like bands that you would recommend for people to listen to who are like, screaming isn't singing and I can understand the words, and so it's not like musical?
Gridiron, their new record is amazing. Rough Justice from Sheffield, Guilt Trip from Manchester. Who else is there? Nasty from Germany. They're a hard, ignorant band. Yeah, I think I can't think of anyone now off the top of my head, but yeah, there's some highlights.
So those are some bands that you people should listen to if you think that screaming isn't musical or that you can understand the words.
There's some bands as well like that I listen to that aren't from our scene, that aren't metal. DMAs from Australia, I'm a big fan of them. There's a whole like that. I like bands that aren't necessarily heavy, so. But there's still there's a lot of good like indie bands in Sheffield at the minute. Yeah, anything like that.
Would you? Okay, no, forget the stupid question. I was going to ask about the accents and stuff. Do you think that maybe if the band has a heavy accent, that would be the same as if you're like growling or screaming?
No, I think the accent adds to it.
Yeah, definitely, it might be. So, do you remember what would be like the most extreme noise that you heard a singer do first time that made you like question whether or not that was like a human voice at all?
Yeah, that the guy from Slaughter to Prevail, Alex Thurble. His vocals are insane. He just sounds like a dinosaur. So yeah, his vocals are insane. And then what's he called? I can't remember. Will Ramos.
Oh,
yeah. I forgot the name of the band.
Lorna Shore.
Lorna Shore. That's the one. Yeah, his voice is insane. Sounds like a Call of Duty zombie. So yeah, I was impressed when I heard that. Like I said, it's not my style of what I do, but I can appreciate it, and it's very, very hard, very, very heavy, very cool.
Would it be interesting to sometime try to include like non-vocal sounds on records and see if people figure out that it isn't like screaming, do like someone whatever, Call of Duty zombie noises or someone throwing a piano down or whatever, and see if people can, or like I don't know what it is in English, but like when you have like the drain or something in your house and it makes that noise.
Oh, well, like a slam band. Yeah,
I
think there's definitely some slam bands that have already used the drain sound effect.
Okay, so like as a joke or something like that. Yeah. Do you have any like warm-up routines for your voice that you do?
Yeah, I have a routine that I do for 30 minutes before we play a show or record or anything, just to warm up and stretch your vocal cords out. And yeah, I do this every time I use my voice. You have to. It's so important, especially when you're on tour and you need to maintain your voice. It's really important.
Do you have like specific things that are different for like singers doing their warm-up and like is different doing it when you're like a screamer?
The warm-ups that I do are quite, they're used by they're like power chord warm-ups, so they're used by singers from all different genres. And then I'll do like some humming and some like Z noises, which I guess they will also do as well. So I don't think it's a particular warm-up catered to metalheads. I think it's just a general warm-up. But I think as long as you're doing a type of warm-up, then that's good.
Where did you pick those up, or were they just, did someone taught you those, or did you look them up for internet, or just something that feels good to do?
I was through word of mouth, through friends who are in bands, and also on the internet. Yeah.
Do you need to do something after the show to kind of help you get back to like normal speaking voice or something?
Sometimes if I feel like I'm losing my voice, I'll have like a herbal tea and honey. That can help. But generally, no, not really.
How about, did your parents at any time kind of question this thing that you're doing, because it's extreme music and screaming, or what kind of relationship they have?
100%, they questioned it, but they've always been very supportive of it. So yeah, I've never had to like worry about it. I wasn't really ever doing it in my bedroom or anything like that. I'd only ever go down to the practice room and do it then. So yeah, no, but they've always been supportive.
Can you remember if they had any comments, regarding the music that you were making back in the day?
No, they've just said, "Oh, that's heavy." That's,
nice.
I've no idea what you're saying, but sounds good. Yeah, they've like I said, they've always been supportive of it, and even though they've not fully understood it.
For sure. So, at what point did you kind of decide that this is what you want to do? Because you mentioned that you were in some like early bands before, Malevolence and stuff like that. At what point it became like something that, yeah, I'm a metal singer, I'm a screamer, I'm gonna do hardcore heavy metal stuff?
Probably when I joined Malevolence in 2009, 2010. Yeah.
What was it about that? Was it the tours, the albums, just the whole experience?
It was playing shows, playing shows and seeing people's reactions and seeing people singing along and having a good time. That's definitely what made me want to do it more.
Now, how would you compare yourself producing the sounds when in studio versus live? Do you have different sort of techniques when you sing live versus when you can sing in like a controlled studio environment?
I think, yeah, sometimes in the studio you really try and pronounce your words a bit more. But in a live environment, you've got to remember to not always use all your energy and like conserve some of your energy so that you can do the rest of the set.
Is it hard to not kind of, when you go to stage and it's the first couple of songs, to not like push everything at once? Is it hard still, or have you got into the groove?
Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you have to kind of remind yourself and not give everything in the first song.
Yeah, I could figure, it's heavy music, so it's hard to not just go full force immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you kind of sing live, is there something that you do with your microphone? Because some singers like kind of cup the mic or hold it a certain way. Is there something that you do?
I guess I cup a little bit, but not intentionally. That's just how I've always held the microphone. But I don't try and cup the microphone to make my voice lower or anything like that.
Okay. Are there like special foods or drinks in your diet that you kind of either keep in your diet to help or reduce to help with your voice?
I try and not drink coffee too close to playing. Try not to drink too much beer close to showtime. But foods, yeah, not really any foods. Just no drinking alcohol and more smoking, I guess.
Would you say that there are some surprising things that you've noticed that affect your voice?
Not really, no. Not that I've noticed.
well, that's good. It would be, I guess, horrible if you go to like a new country and do something and then you notice that your voice is leaving or something.
I think the most important thing is just making sure you get enough sleep. Like that's a big one. Like not having enough sleep really affects your voice.
Would you say that's something that you do have? You have enough sleep?
I try to. Actually, I try to now.
Because it sure is hard, you know, what I've understood when you're on tour to get like proper sleep and stuff.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah.
So what would be some advice that you would give to like a young hardcore vocalist who's like looking to take their singing game to the next level and kind of make it as their career?
Warm up, definitely warm up. Learn how to use your voice so that you're not blowing your voice out. Stay hydrated, drink loads of water, that helps. And try and do your own thing. Find what works for you. Don't try and copy someone else, because you know, if you're just another screamer that's copied another screamer, then we're not exploiting anything new. Let's try and find our own styles and what works for us.
Right. And for the final question, I would like to know, what are some, like on the new record, some songs that you really would or are looking forward to sing live if you haven't done so already?
I'm looking forward to singing Salvation, because that's one of my favorite songs on the album. I really love the chorus on that one. And also Karma, because it's raw, it's fast, aggressive, and heavy, and I love that style of song. Anything that's fast and aggressive, I like. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good music, good stuff. Yeah, thank you so much for opening up about your singing career and past and the present. It was lovely talking to you, and a great album. Looking forward to maybe see you guys live someday.
Amazing. Thanks very much for having me, dude. Much appreciated.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too, mate. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye.